Hey, everybody, and welcome to another great episode of My EdTech Live. I am your host, Fonz Mendoza, or you can find us at My EdTech Live on Twitter. Thank you so much again to all of you listeners, supporters. Thank you guys for being here this morning. I know many of you may just be waking up. Some of you are getting that first cup of coffee, maybe that first bite of breakfast. But if you're here joining us, thank you so much for all of your support because today we have an amazing show. We have the amazing Mattina here today. So we're going to be jamming it up with Jamboard. So for many educators that are out there that are looking for great resources that work with what you may already have as far as Google Meet is concerned, or you're looking for just that great tool that can definitely help you with your remote distance learning, hey, you've come to the right place because there's none better than Mattina that's going to share these amazing resources with you today. Kim, thank you so much for being on our show. I know I was on your show recently, but now it's your turn to be on the show. And I just love this because it's that hashtag paying it forward. So thank you so much for now being on our show and just sharing your wonderful resources with everybody. So just in case our audience members don't know, just give us a little bit of background. Where you're from, some of the projects that you work on, things of that sort. Just, let them know who you are.
Well, first, I want to say thank you for having me on, Alfonso. This is a great way to start a Saturday morning. I usually work on the Sweet Talk at Monday evening, so this is a whole change for me. So thank you for having me on and having me connect with your audience. My name is Mattina. I am a technology teacher at a middle school in New Jersey, and I host my own show, The Sweet Talk, which is a show about really paying it forward and helping other educators effectively use technology in the classroom. And I'm a Gold product expert for the Google for Education team and a Google certified trainer and educator.
Awesome. And I know that you said New Jersey, in that area. There's definitely something in the water. And I keep saying this, Kim, New Jersey definitely has a lot of wonderful tech educators that are out there. I know I've had Bruce on the show here. I've been on your show and so many other wonderful people. So I may just need to take a trip over there and maybe just jump into the river and get some of that EdTech knowledge, because it's just amazing. But again, thank you so much. And guys, if you want to visit Kim's page, you see the banner going down here. Just go to the sweettalk.com. You can visit her page and she's got some great resources. But today we're going to be talking about Jamboard. So I'm really excited about this because we're definitely going to be jamming it up. So Kim, first of all, I know I kind of briefly mentioned, that Jamboard is a tool that can be interactive that teachers can use. Give us your perspective. Tell us a little bit more about what Jamboard can do. And I know that you've got some great resources and demos for our teachers that they can see. So I'm definitely excited about that. So the floor is yours, my friend.
Okay, so Jamboard is an app and it's part of the course suite. So it has to be enabled if you're using a Google for Education domain, and it can be found in Drive. So basically, you think of Jamboard as a digital whiteboard, and it can be accessed through Google Drive or through the Google Jam app, and it's free. So there's no cost to it, which is awesome. But some people do get mixed up with the Jamboard web version and the Jamboard app and the kiosk. So really, the only cost is the kiosk, which is really the big screen. And that you'd have to get, purchased through an authorized dealer. But the web version can be accessed through Google Drive, or you can go to jamboard.google.com, and that's free. And then the Jamboard app, you can download it to your mobile device, and that's free as well.
Wow. So many different ways of accessing this wonderful tool completely free. So you heard it here, folks. It's found in Drive, you can access there and also on mobile devices. And we know how important these can be now, especially now during remote and distance learning, students having accessibility maybe to only mobile devices at some times or at some points. So it's great that you can find that tool here in hand, ready to go. Awesome.
And keep in mind too, like the web version and the app version, there are they're a little bit different. The app may offer more features than the web version, but they're still very productive. You can still get the job done in both versions. So I don't want to deter anyone because of that.
Perfect. Awesome. Thanks, Kim. So, hey, let's start jamming it up, Kim. Let's go ahead and put your screen up, and then that way we
All
can
right.
share with our teachers, our viewers, our listeners, all the magic about all the Jamboard magic, I should say. So, really excited about this. All right, here we go.
All right. So you can see my screen, right?
Yep.
Okay, so I created an agenda today using Jamboard, and we're going to try to go over all of these things. But if not, then these resources will be available to your audience through my website. So the first thing that I want to tell you again is that Jamboard can be accessed through Google Drive. It's a core service app, so it has to be enabled in your domain. So you have to contact your Google administrator for that. So if I go into Google Drive and I go to the new menu and I go down to more, you'll see Jamboard listed there. So that's basically how you can access Jamboard from Drive. And this is what comes up, okay? So the first thing I always tell my teachers is really to give it a title. So we'll call it My EdTech Life. All right, you always want to give any files in Drive a title so that it's easy to find later on. And this is the web version again. So this is my blank canvas, okay? On the left side here, I have a menu bar. This is my pen tool. So I can select any type of pen that I want and any different color. And you can see, that the pens, they'll give you different thicknesses and so on, okay? This is the eraser tool, so I can go through and erase anything that I want. This is the select tool, so if I wanted to type or have a picture on here and move it, I would have to click on the select tool. This is the sticky note, so it's kind of like a post-it note for your jam. So, and in here, I can select a different color for the note, and it appears there. Now, here's a little trick. If I just wanted to just type with no color, so it looks like kind of like a text box, but without the color background, I can just select no color for that post-it note. And then if I take the select tool, now I can click and move it around, and I can make it bigger. I can rotate it. So the select tool is really your friend.
Oh, that is awesome right there. Definitely
Isn't
see a
that
lot
cool?
of possibilities there. Yeah, I mean, it's like just an interactive whiteboard that's already built in, integrated with Google. And I mean, this is just amazing. It's just all there, all in one nice, tight little package.
Yeah. So and then here's another tip too. So anytime you see a 3-dot menu or 3 dots, it's a menu. And I can edit this object if I wanted to, change the color of it. If I wanted to change the color of the post-it note, I can duplicate it. I can delete it from here, and I can put it in an order. And the order is a new feature. So similar to Google Slides, where I can order objects forward or back, I can do the same thing in here as well. Another new feature of the web version is the shape tool. So I can insert shapes, and I can come up here and fill the shape. I can change the color of the outline, and I can insert another shape, and I'll show you the order here. So we'll do red and then blue. And then just say I want the blue circle to be on top of the red circle. I just click on it, click on the 3 dots, go to order, and I'm going to hit bring to the front. So those are new features in the web version that you can utilize. Another nice feature is the text box. So the text box is really new for back to school as well. And it's just going to allow me to type in here, information in a text box. Again, I have the 3-dot menu, but what's nice is that I can format this information. So here I can put a title, make it more like a title, make it more for display. I can change the color of it, and then I can justify it. So these are really, like, to me, this is priceless, because we were missing this before. And with the new update that came out, the text box and the order features are new. The shape tool is new in the web version.
Now, that's awesome, Kim. I just wanted to throw that in there, that when we first started, in March, and started training, none of these features were here. But I know that a lot of educators, gave feedback. And so I just really want to give a shout out to Google for just being very proactive and being always listening to the teachers and, trying to hear out what it is that they need, because they're pretty much just taking that feedback, seeing, okay, let's go ahead and make this happen. And now having this available, like you said, is definitely a big plus right now, excuse me, at this time. So thank you, Google, for always listening to our educators.
Yeah, I'm part of that team, and they definitely do. They take your feedback and they prioritize it. And then they do try to address the more popular or the most commonly feedback, issues, and apply it for the next update. So this is a nice transition, because if you want to leave the team feedback for any issues or, future updates, you click on the 3-dot menu and you go down here to send feedback to Google. And you can include a screenshot of what you're referencing. And up here, you would just explain your issue or maybe your idea, and you just send it to them. So that's how easy it is to send the team feedback.
Oh, wow. There you go. Teachers, just in case you were wondering, and maybe there's some features that you can find very useful. Hey, just go to the 3 dots right there next to share and send feedback to Google. And like Kim says, she's part of that team. And of course, they prioritize and just trying to help out and making sure that they get those tools in your hands and in the hands of the students to just make things a lot easier. So awesome, awesome. Kudos to Google for that.
So what I want to do next is I want to go to a new frame. So each page on a Jam is called a frame. Okay, so you have the Jam, which is really the file that you find in your Google Drive. And then each page, so if I click up here to expand the frame bar, this is one frame, okay? So I want to add a new frame. So I'm going to click on the plus sign here, and you can see that I have another frame. So what I'm going to do here is go to frame number 2, and it's a blank canvas again. So what's really cool is that I can change the background for my frame. So this is awesome if you wanted to have graph paper. You can change the background to graph paper. And now this becomes more of an interactive frame for you and or your students, because you can have them graph right in here. Another thing that you can do also is I can go to frame number 3. I can change the background to black or blue, and now addressing accessibility for those students that need that contrast. So if I wanted to, I can actually go into, I can put a Post-it note in here or a text box, or I can actually write something in here, and I can, see the contrast here on this page because the blue background. So let me try to add a text box, and I can just put, another text box in here. I can change this color to white, and it's now you're not only, giving your students information, you're accommodating those students with special needs because of the accessibility and the contrast mode. So this is a really nice way of looking at an interactive whiteboard and making it accessible for your students using these types of contrast and tools.
That is great. That is an additional use case there for Jamboard. And like you said, it's all about accessibility and meeting our students where they're at. And of course, we have to meet them remotely in their homes through the use of a device. But don't feel like you can't help or you can't reach out to them or get through to them, because as you can see, Kim is showing you some great ways that you can implement some of those accessibility features to help your students that need supports. So that is awesome.
Yeah, and what else is nice too is that I can carry this background throughout my entire presentation, or I can customize each frame for a different background. So you can see here I have the graph paper here, and if I wanted to, I can add a text box, and I can have here like an equation. Oops, I have to change my ink. So if I change and add the text box and put an equation in here. And I'm going to show you how to app smash with this in a little bit, but you can do something like this. I'm not a math teacher, so you have to excuse the equation if it doesn't make sense. But you can definitely have your kids graph in here, graph linear equations using the graph paper background. If I wanted to open up a new frame, I can go to the background and have, like a notebook style paper. So now this becomes an area where students can brainstorm or take notes, which is really cool. And they can use the Post-it note option here, or they can actually use the text box option here and just start taking notes with that. Another thing that they can do also is, if you just say you have elementary students, if you change the background to the dots, now you have an area where you can make students make patterns and connect the dots and color code if necessary. Especially if you're using the Jamboard app on an iPad, now it becomes a touch screen, and students can use their finger or stylus to connect the dots and make a shape or tessellation or whatnot. So there's so many possibilities here for students and teachers to use just with the background. And then I didn't even show you this, Afonso, this add image. So you can add images from your device, from a Google search image, or your Google Drive. So let's just do Google image search, and let's just say I'm going to search for a pumpkin, and it brings up my Google search image results, and now I have images from Google search right in my Jamboard. So if I wanted to have students manipulate pumpkins for a math sentence, I can have, I can duplicate it. And now, if I wanted to, resize all of them, let's just do this. I should have did this first. So if I resize them, oops, hold on a second. I'm going to delete this one and duplicate these. So now you can see here for elementary students, if I wanted to make like math manipulative activities, I can have my manipulatives up top, and then I can have the students drag and drop different, objects or different shapes, and create some type of math sentence or algebraic expression. And now it becomes more of a manipulative hands-on activity. So there's so many possibilities with Jamboard. I honestly really always say that Jamboard is a big giant blank think space because there's so many ways of using this, from STEAM to math to science to music to art. It's everywhere. So, you just have to really think out of the box when you think of Jamboard.
Oh yeah, and this is one thing that I love, Kim. Just like you said, just for math, even just that visual, making that connection visually with the students, and those manipulatives. Although there isn't anything tactile like you would be in the classroom, where you may be using some base 10 blocks or you use the little teddy bears. But for somebody in elementary level, maybe kinder first, they can see these, they can manipulate it. The teachers can just create those math sentences, and then the students, just like you said, drag and drop. They can go ahead and circle, they can do all those things. And that's what I love about it, that it's interactive. The students can manipulate, so you're still hitting those multiple modalities of learning: the visual, the tactile to some extent, because they need to either work with a mouse or they're doing touch, and they're still manipulating. And I think that that is great. And I honestly, what you said about this being a big think space, this is something that we used a lot during our innovator academies, and just really just thinking. And like you said, thinking outside the box, everybody's all in one space, putting in notes, putting in their ideas, and, working together on designing. And this is something that is amazing.
Yeah, so here I was like, as you're speaking, I'm thinking, okay, let me show, like that it can be used for timelines or
Mhm.
flow charts or anything like that. So here you can actually create a flow chart if you wanted to. And here's my, let's say, um, we'll put a diamond in here for a decision. And now I want to connect the two. So now I want to create a line. So I can hold down the shift key and drag my line to my object. And now it's a straight line. So, and that goes credit to not me. I saw that from Julia at Gifted Talk on Twitter. So she figured that out, and now I'm able to share that with you and your audience. So, which is cool because sometimes it's hard to draw a straight line using a mouse. So all
Yeah.
you do again is just hit the shift key, hold it down, and just drag. And now you're able to draw lines that are straight. So
Awesome.
that's pretty cool. And then
That is
another thing,
amazing.
yeah, it's really easy. And, again, like if you needed to put in here, words, you can, let me change my display back to normal. I can put in here, I can put in here, if it's a decision, I can, put yes. It's going to be a decision, that it's going to be a yes answer. So an action's going to happen here. And if it's a no answer, then it's going to go into the opposite direction. And then I can actually, if I wanted to, I can make another box here and, put inside the action what would happen if yes was selected. And if it wasn't, then it would, go to the other side. So, and I would have, no actions here, whatever, whatever action I want to happen if a no was selected. So
Mhm.
this is a great way for students to visualize their workflow or their thoughts or their thinking process, because not everyone can comprehend with text. Some people need to comprehend with visuals, and this is a great way for them to document their understanding of the concept as well.
This is awesome because, like, just look at how quickly, just with the shapes and then the line tool and just holding down shift, we have Mel visiting us. So thank you, Mel, for joining us today. Mel is from Australia, but she teaches in Colombia. And she says here that she uses pretty much Jamboard, every day. And so she got really excited when you showed her how to draw the straight line, because she was using the rectangle tool, for to create straight lines. So thank you, Mel, for joining us. Thank you, Rachel, also Rachel Kodup. Thank you so much for joining us also, all the way from the UK, another fellow Aussie. Well, not my fellow Aussie, but an Aussie friend,
Yeah.
I should say. So it's really great that you guys are here joining us today with Kim and myself. So we're excited. But I mean, I'm still in awe of how easy you just created this. And like you said, you can do mind maps, you can do, like you said, these ideas, your designs in such an easy way. And so this is awesome. I think that I'm learning today. This is definitely a great PD session for myself as well.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm glad. So just to point out too, like in the Jamboard app, there is assistive writing. And because I'm using the web, I don't have that option. So for elementary students, what they can do is actually, just say they wanted to write the word house. And sometimes, their handwriting can be,
Right.
sloppy. So what Jamboard in the app will do is it'll take that writing and it'll translate it into the word house, and it'll be printed. So it's assistive technology with the pen tool, and then there's assistive technology with the shape tool as well, and the drawing tool. So if you're trying to draw like a sun, if you select assistive technology for the drawing, it'll actually give you a list of suns that you can pick from to include into your jam. So there's a little bit, there's a little bit more functionality with the app, but like I said, this is the web version, and I think most people are going to use the web version. So that's why I wanted to show it off rather than the app. But yeah, so if you're using iPads with elementary students, definitely download the Jamboard app, and you'll notice in the toolbar that there'll be like assistive writing or assistive drawing that's available in the shape tool and the pen tool.
That is awesome. That is so good to hear. Like you said, so many options that are available. But again, it's all about the learning, that the students are still have the ability to be involved on the day-to-day tasks, and for teachers, this tool is a time saver. And this tool, like you said, it's just a blank canvas, a workspace, a design thinking space, and that they can come in here, they can put up their lessons, and they can manipulate, have the students move things around, have the students add their pictures, representations. I mean, this is great. This is an amazing tool, and how much stuff that you can actually jam into a Jamboard. You see what I did there?
Yeah, I see that. I mean, you have to keep in mind too, like, there are some limitations that are in Jamboards or in the Jam. Like, so you could only have up to 20 frames. So if you think you're going to need more than that, then you may have to split up your Jam into different files. And you can have up to 50 people collaborate on one Jam, but sometimes it gets a little glitchy, after a certain amount. So you may want to keep that in mind too, when you're trying to use this with your students. But if you're creating like a digital notebook, or the students are creating something, this is a great way for them to showcase what they know, or document any type of brainstorming sessions or whatnot. Because what you can do here is you can share it, and you can share a Jam just like you could with any other Google file. So I can share it with people and give them access to it. I can share the link so that it's only read only. So, that's always available. And what's nice is that you can share it in Google Classroom. So
Yes.
I can create a Jam and then put it in an assignment in Google Classroom, and then distribute it make a copy for each student, or view or edit for each student. So, you have that ability in there with Google Classroom too, which is awesome, because it's just another piece of the puzzle that fits perfectly, right?
Yeah, most definitely. And I love all those share features like you shared. I mean, or you showed. I mean, how easy is that? Just take that link, you either sharing it with your students via Google Classroom, or you can share it with your students. I believe you can do it also now live through Google Meet as well. and you have your whole classes right there interacting within that Jamboard too as well. And so those are great tools where students, again, comes back to being able to access their learning, and that is awesome.
Yeah, so another thing that I wanted to show you too is the three dots. So that whenever you see the three dots, it's basically a menu. So if you click on that, you can take this this Jam and you can download it as a PDF, and it'll download it everything onto your local computer, as you can see here. And if I open it, I don't know if you can see it. Hold on.
There it is.
Okay, so you can see that my Jam now is a PDF file. So so students can take their Jams and download them as a PDF file, or you can save a frame as an image. So just say they have this really great flow chart going here, and this is all that you want to see from them. They can save this frame as an image, and now you can see that it downloaded it as a PNG file. And if I open it, do you see it or no?
No, not yet. I don't think that was it.
Yeah, so if you see, let me see if I can, I don't want to lose you, but did I lose you? No, okay.
No, I'm good.
But it downloads it as a PNG file. And then if you need to, you can, the students can attach that to an assignment in Google Classroom. You can delete the Jam, you can make a copy of it here. So this three dot menu is really a great way of, sharing, either as a PDF or as an image. Just think what you can do with a PDF file, right? So like, teachers are creating digital resources now. So you can create maybe like a digital notebook for a specific topic or unit. And then you can send that to your students via a PDF file. You can create it in here, and then you can download it as a PDF file, send it to them, and they have the resource now. So there's a lot of ways that you can manipulate, and use those options for your advantage.
Yeah, and that's something that I love too, because I mean, let's say that you have a student that maybe just couldn't connect that day for some reason, problems, and teacher went through the lesson via the Jam, so they can share the link to the Jam, or just say, what, let me just download these notes, and then you can have them just there, ready to go, ready to share out, so nobody misses anything. So you have just different multiple ways, actually, I should say, of sharing the content so no one misses out on the learning. And that to me is something that is valuable, that resource, either in a PDF or just the PNG frame that can be shared out, or just the link itself too as well. I mean, it's all about getting the information into your students' hands. So that's awesome.
Yeah, exactly. So can I share some other classroom ideas?
Yes, of course, please.
Okay, so let me, I kind of went through all of this already. So, and I'll make this available for your audience too. So here's some ideas that I came up with for the classroom, and some of them I mentioned already, but timelines. I love this iconic story writing piece that I thought of that you can do with any age student. You can create to-do lists, you can do sorting activities, charts, concept maps, labeling. I know with elementary students, they like to label things. Research, brainstorming, graphing, note-taking, exit tickets, sketch notes. So, sketch notes is a big thing now. So you can use Jamboard in here for sketch noting. And so here's, a way that you can, and I'm going to show your audience this too, how we can app smash with Jamboard. But one example is using Equatio Chrome extension, and you can create your equations using Equatio and then insert them into Jamboard. So what you have to do with that is create a Google document with all of your equations, and then basically copy the image of that equation and paste it into Jam. So that's app smashing, but you can certainly change the background of that and make it where the kids can graph on it. You can use Google Keep with it. So Google Keep is an app that you can use on your phone or on the web, and you can take notes on there and create lists, and you can download them as an image and insert that into Jamboard. So if you have students maybe doing some type of STEM activity outside, and they need their phone or their iPad or whatnot, and you have Google Keep on it, they can take the notes in there and then insert them right into Jam. So this is one that, you know, we're all using nowadays. We're all using some type of video casting tool or screencasting tool. So you can certainly do that with Jamboard as well. You can have your Jam opened and show your work and explain how you're solving that equation using Screencastify. So this is another way you can app smash. But you can use images to interpret meanings of different concepts. So right here, what do you think I'm saying? Come on, I'm putting you on the spot.
Think outside the box.
Yay!
You know, and
right.
These are great activities. Like, I never even thought about this, you know, as far as images. So I'm sure that some of our audience members just found this to be something that's great and something that's new with the app smashing. But I mean, this activity is just something that is wonderful. Like, this really, I'm like, wow, okay, I need to start using this. This is a great,
it's like
great
an icebreaker. You could use this like for an icebreaker or something, you know, and make it, you know, more accustomed to what you're doing in class. But this is, you know, everybody has a different interpretation, right? So I'm glad that you got mine. But what I like more about it is you can use it for iconic story writing. So you can have your students write and then use specific icons or animals or shapes or objects into a story, and just say they have to use those same 5 icons over and over. They can use those same icons and create a story. And you can see here that this is my handwriting tool, and then I did this in the Jamboard app.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the tool, the pen tool, using the assistive technology I was saying before. So you can use it for iconic story writing, illustrations. How great is that for, like, you know, any art student or elementary student, you know, to illustrate what they're learning. And this is something that one of my students did in my school. She was an artistic. So she found this image on the web and she put it into the Jam, and then she drew it. And this is the Jamboard kiosk that I have in my classroom. So this is the physical hardware. So people say it looks like a giant iPad, but I could see that. But yeah, so, you know, I had her come up and she drew this on the Jamboard. And, you know, I'm thinking, wow, this is awesome. I got to keep it, you know? So, you know, you can do that with your students. Again, charts, music. If you're in a music class and you need to write your own music, you can certainly use Jamboard for that as well. Timelines. So you know, this is my timeline here, and you can add images and ticks for, you know, your dates or whatnot. You can label. So if you find like an image of, just say, you know, this is the United States, but maybe you're doing like animal cells or plant cells, you can get the image and put it as the background, and then the students can label them. So that's pretty cool. Flow charts, again, to define the design process. Emoji story writing. Again, this is another example of how you can do that. And, you know, basically that's the end of that presentation. But yeah, so those were some ideas that I had through, you know, that you can use for classroom ideas. And now, since Jamboard is being used so much, there's so many cool ideas that are out there that people are sharing on Twitter. So you can always look through Twitter. I tried to capture a lot of that in my Wakelet collection. But, you know, there's so many ways people are really using, you know, Jamboard nowadays.
Now, this is something that's amazing. Like just with what you shared and all the app smashing that you've done, and even the ideas. Like I never thought about that, the iconic writing assignment, or even I mean, I thought about it. I was like, oh, well, you can do that with emojis, but with the icons, that's great. Emojis. So there's multiple ways of getting creative here, and just really engaging the students. And so this is just great. Another avenue that teachers can, really get to the students, reach out to them, and then the students can have fun, using the tech as a tool, but still learning what they need to learn, as far as, creative maps, or like you shared, quick timelines, being very artistic, doing some math. I mean, I love what you did too with the explainer videos too. You can use Jamboard as your whiteboard and you're explaining. So that is something wonderful that even the students can create maybe their own tutorial videos or their own presentations, and
Yeah.
you're getting that learning artifact. So you're seeing their learning taking place, and oftentimes, as teachers, we want to give everything to them, but and they just end up being consumers. But now we can allow them to be creators, and I think that's something that is much needed, just giving the students these tools where they can get creative and they show you what they're learning. And I think that this is a great tool that can do that as well. So I mean, this is amazing. Now, Kim, I know you said that you were going to share your resources. Where can they find the resources? Like you mentioned your Wakelet page. Where is it that they can go? Can they find that on your website?
Yeah, so if you go to thesweettalk.com, there's a Jamboard page here. And on my Jamboard page, you can find my Get on the Jamboard Train presentation. And there is a Wakelet collection here. And this Wakelet collection is really, like, I really put a lot of my updates into this Wakelet collection. So if you click on this, you'll get the latest updates from me on about Jamboard and how you can use it in the classroom. My EdTech agenda that I was showing here is in that Wakelet collection as well. So, if you want, you can visit my website and actually click on the Wakelet collection and you'll get everything in there that I have. Yeah, but one last thing before I go is I know, I don't want to take up too much time because I could keep talking and talking.
Oh, no, no worries. Share away, Kim, share away.
I mean, you can see with my jam that I have here now that I did App Smash with Bitmoji, and I did use Equatio, but I did want to mention that you can also use it with Google Meet too, because that's a new update that came out with Google Meet, is the integration of Jamboard. So if I can, if that's okay, I created this quick presentation about it because I didn't want to interfere with streaming with
Mhm.
StreamYard and Google Meet. But all you have to do is create a new meeting using meet.google.com and join your own meeting. And then what you do is you click the three dots at the bottom and to get to the menu, and you'll see a whiteboard option. And when you click on the whiteboard option, this menu shows, and you can either create a new jam board, or you can use one that's from Drive already that you already created. And when you create one that's brand new, it'll put the link to that jam right in the chat for your attendees. So all they have to do is click on that link. They have access to it, and they can collaborate with you in the Google Meet and use Jamboard at the same time. And what happens is Google Meet will name your jam the join code that you had for your Google Meet, as you can see here at the top left. So that's the name of the jam. So just be mindful of that. If you need to rename it, you can. But if you don't want to rename it, it'll be saved in your Drive using that jam or that Google Meet join code. So they definitely are trying to listen to the teachers and try to incorporate feedback for the feedback that we're giving them, or they're trying to update their platforms accordingly because they know that the need is there for them.
That is awesome, Kim. Thank you so much for like this valuable, this wealth of information that you gave us, because Jamboard is definitely something that should be in every teacher's tool belt, and it should be there, at any given time. We know that there are many tools that are out there, but it's always great to have these tools handy. And then of course, you can always take like the app smashing. You take a little bit of this here, a little bit of that there, make it your own, and you're personalizing it for your class, for your students to meet their needs. And as you saw, Kim shared some great tips for accessibility. If students need some reading supports, maybe they need some of that contrast. You saw the manipulatives with pictures. You saw the story writing, the timelines, the flow charts. Oh my gosh, the wealth of information. So please make sure you visit Kim's site, and she has all of that set up there for on a Wakelet collection. So I mean, this is awesome, guys. So if I were you, I definitely get Jammin with Jamboard, get to that collection, visit Kim at her site, and then you can learn more about Jamboard. And I know Mel was really excited. I just wanted to share, Melissa that was here, she shared already she was really happy about the shift and the line tool, to create a straight line. So she retweeted that right now a little while ago. So as you can tell, people learn something new every day. So again, thank you so much, Kim, for just being so amazing. Again, I know I talked to you on your show. I'm going to try not to make you cry this time, but sincerely, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for everything you're doing and taking the time out of your schedule. And especially, you normally do your shows on Mondays. I'm doing them on Saturdays, but thank you for taking the time out of your day to be here and just share this knowledge with us. And this is definitely something that's valuable, and it's definitely going to pay off dividends for many of our teachers that may be a little scared of maybe using Jamboard. They're not too familiar with it, but now they've got some ideas. They're not starting from zero. They see some great examples and resources, and that is something that is wonderful for them. So thank you, Kim. I really appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome. No problem at all. And if anybody wants to share their jam with me and their idea, you can go to my website and fill out go to the idea board for Jamboard and fill out the form to share your idea with me. And then I'll post it in my resources so we can help pay it forward for everybody to try to learn it and use it. I mean, if you learn a little thing like that little tip about the shift key, and even like Tom Mulaney's demo on how to make right angles, I have that in my Wakelet collection as well. If you can learn something small like that, then it was a successful training session or interaction. So, I know I didn't know that either, Mel. It's crazy, right? Something simple like that. So it's like, again, I can't take credit for everything because I'm learning from my PLN as well. I'm just putting it together and paying it forward. Some of the ideas that I came up with the classroom to use are most of them were my ideas that I had presented, but so many people are doing so many wonderful things out there. And it just amazes me how creative people really are and thinking outside the box. So I do give them all a round of applause for that, because the more they share, the more we all can learn and pay it forward.
Perfect. That is awesome, Kim. And so I just wanted to share, Mel, I know you're in here, but this is her tweet that she just shared out right now. Huge reveal for me. How did I never know, how to do this? And so here's her tweet. I definitely retweeted it, and she's sharing with the world. So Mel, thank you so much for being here. Rachel, also, thank you so much. And to the rest of all our audience that is here listening to us, just follow us on Twitter. Follow Kim on Twitter. Kim, where can they find you? I think, you do have your handle there. So let me go back here. You can follow Kim at _tech_lady. And of course, you can follow us here on our show at My EdTech Live. And I also wanted to share something with you guys as well. So if you can go and visit us at myedtech.life, myedtech.live. Here is our new site where you can find all our episodes. You can find us on all of these major platforms here. So again, just stop by. You can subscribe. You can go ahead and drop us a line here, for any updates. And if you would like to contact us for anything, to give us any feedback, you can definitely drop us a line if you'd like to be a guest on our show. And you can even drop us a voice message. That's right. Click on the little microphone here. Give us a little voice message, a little feedback, and then maybe we'll share it out on the next episode, next show. We'll give you guys shout outs so you can stop by. And of course, don't forget to check out what is in store at our My EdTech Life store. Go ahead and check all of that out. We've got some great gear that'll keep you warm and looking fresh this winter. So you guys make sure you stop by. Don't delay. Shop today. All right, guys. So thank you so much again, Kim, for being here. And thank you so much to all of you, our supporters, all our listeners. If you're a first-time listener, welcome. If you have been with us since the beginning, thank you very much for always, hanging out with us on Saturdays or watching our shows, sharing our podcast, retweeting. It really means a lot to me from the bottom of my heart, because it's because of you that we do what we do. Like Kim says, it's all about paying it forward. For myself, I just say it's connecting educators one show at a time and creating a PLF, a professional learning family. So thank you guys for joining us today on My EdTech Live. And next week, we're going to be taking a little break. We're going to be taking a Saturday off, but we'll be back on that following Saturday, which will be November 7th. So again, next week, we won't have a show. Get some time to just reset, unplug, and get ready for the month of November. We're really excited about some great shows that are lined up for that month. So stay tuned for all the news. Meanwhile, visit us again, myedtech.live. Check out all our past episodes and our videos as well. Give us a like, subscribe to our channel. And till next time, stay techy, my friends.
Bye.